Director of Music of the Jackson Symphony Orchestra, Matt Aubin.
Nice to meet you guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, good to be with you. I was impressed you did the whole Dirty Bird thing with no notes.
Oh yeah, I don't need
You
notes.
know? I know. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I
customer.
can't do.
Off the cuff.
I cannot talk about greetings from Scotland without notes. There's
No, that's true.
there's
That's
some
true.
tricky names and stuff in there.
Well, we have a lot of notes to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, gosh,
sorry,
we're getting
too early.
it today.
Yeah. But yeah, we have a concert, actually 3 concerts this weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, and a Sunday matinee. And it's called Greetings from Scotland because the last piece on the program is a piece called the Scottish Symphony by Felix Mendelssohn, who's a German composer, but traveled to Scotland in the late 20s and was inspired by his trip there and wrote multiple works inspired by Scotland. And you know, basically, I think the most important thing for folks to know about this program is this music is very easy on the ears. It's all music by Felix Mendelssohn and his sister Fanny. And it's a great Valentine's treat, I would say. It's a program meant to just be a very good date night.
And you have 3 options to choose from.
3 options to choose from, and that's what we like. So a lot of times people will say, how many people are in the symphony? And what I tell them is, our core orchestra is probably about 55 members, but really the size of the symphony depends a lot on what the music was written for and when it was written. So back in the time of Mendelssohn, the orchestra was smaller, and when we use a smaller orchestra, oftentimes that might not translate as well to the Potter Center or even the Michigan Theater. So doing it downtown in our smaller venue, smaller audience, it really works. And for the musicians, it's fun to be able to do it more than once, to be able to do it 3 times. So it's a nice tradition that we've been doing for several years now.
3 identical performances.
Correct.
You could tape Friday night and just lip sync the rest of the weekend.
There you go. But that's the fun thing about live performance. You never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
You never know. But yeah, like I would say for folks that are coming Friday and Sunday, especially, that we don't do some of our normal things on those 2 performances. Like we don't do a pre-concert talk on Friday or Sunday. But what I typically do and what the soloists will do is we hang back after the show, and if folks have questions about what they just heard, and I'm happy to always, let people have more context on what we do and a little insight. Saturday we will have our typical pre-concert talk and then our after party. That said, I think Saturday is pretty close to sold out. A lot of our season ticket holders opt in for the Saturday performance, but lots of seats still for Friday and Sunday, but they're going fast.
And
Last time I saw you, we were at the Jackson County Tower Ballroom for Concert Aglow.
Yes.
That was amazing.
It really was, yeah. And this is something that a lot of people have said, could you do something like that? And you do have to get the right ambiance. And having been in that building, well, almost, about 5 years ago, I remember I went there to have my daughter's passport photo taken when she was only months old. We had a trip planned, and they had all these cubicles. It was such a shame the way they were using that space before, and now to see it like that, it really works. And actually, the acoustic was really good. It wasn't so good in rehearsal. It was a little boomy, almost like a gymnasium. But then once you put people in the seats, it really kind of solves that issue and becomes a really nice acoustic. I think it's something that we want to do again. We surveyed our audience and got a lot of really good feedback about other types of music that they want to hear, and also just some things about the ambience. Like I think we may upgrade the chairs next time, things like that.
There were people that had a lot of FOMO because that photo gallery was viewed about 20,000 times on our
Is that
website.
right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think people were just intrigued that this was able to take place here.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of people hadn't seen that building, so for everything to come together, very cool.
Yeah. It's. You never know with these things. You obviously want to give people what they want and capitalize on it, but then you don't want to saturate the market. And we have this, we go back and forth about this with things like Harry Potter that have been successful. The first year we did Harry Potter, it sold out. We added a second show. And, it still had a even bigger audience, but we have to find that kind of sweet spot about how often do we do it. And then of course there's we had a nice arrangement with the fair this time in terms of sharing some of the arrangements, and hopefully that's a relationship that we can just keep nurturing and do more with.
Andy might not have liked it because there was no Diet Coke.
I would have brought my own.
Yeah, you would have?
Yeah, I would have, and
fair.
it would have been nothing that made noise or whatever.
We had that issue a little bit. I think we might have to come out with some JSO branded koozies. We had some clinking of glass bottles on the floor and everything. Yeah.
I get really nervous, so I probably wouldn't have even had the Diet Coke. Phone would have been left in the car. Keys I would have given to my wife. Yeah, no, I don't like to be a distraction.
Here's what I hope. I hope the county buys some chairs and tables, because when people have things, they have to drag everything up.
I'm sure it'll eventually happen.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little challenging. Like, I don't think we could do more, like too many more people in that space, because the way the staircase comes into the middle of the room, it sucks up some of the space. But that said, boy, you saw the pictures. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful, and that's great. Just good on them for like really renovating that and having that space available.
Yeah, and I credit Mike Overton, because this was something he wanted to do a long time ago, and there were all kinds of roadblocks, and the county did all the work in-house. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a showplace.
Yeah, and for us, it's funny. Like, it's not too heavy a lift for these musicians to play like pop covers as a string quartet, and that's essentially what they were doing. I mean, our biggest challenge was because you need so much music, and we had decided on Fleetwood Mac, you can get something, you can get one of their tunes, and maybe the arrangement is kind of like maybe watered down, maybe made for like high school kids or something, and like the audience isn't going to like it. So it's a lot of research of just culling through kind of the bad stuff and really finding the gems. And then we even commissioned a composer that we work with a lot, Jeremy Crosmer. He commissioned 3 new arrangements so that we could do it. But things like that have actually become easier with regards to rights. It used to be kind of the Wild West, and now there's some places that make it easier to do all that.
One of the string musicians performing last weekend actually recorded on an album with Fleetwood Mac.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I don't think a lot of people always realize, that with these professional musicians that are in the Jackson Symphony, that we all have a pretty diverse range of experiences. I've had the chance to do Mozart in the Jungle and Bel Canto, which was a film with Julianne Moore, things like that, and play in places like Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center. And it's true of a lot of the musicians that play with the symphony too. I have friends that have played with Saturday Night Live and Common and Pink Martini, things like that. And so you just never know what's going to come across your plate, and the best thing to do is just be a really good musician and then get asked for those things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming in. The newest
sure.
member of the Recording Industry Academy of America, a Grammy voter.
That's awesome.
Dr. Matt Aubin.
Thank you.
More of the morning show right after this.